Yes. Okay. It's
We did it.
First.
We did it. Is that one on? Okay.
Now it's on.
Yeah. I think it's good.
Check 1, 2. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
He probably might check those, but just to be safe. This made him very nervous that I'm doing this by myself.
Oh no.
Hey, they're all recording. Okay. You can sit here.
Down at the end.
To the left.
You're good. There you go. Just make sure that the mic thing is not like in front of her face. There we go.
About there.
There we go. Now we can see your beautiful face.
Yay.
Your beautiful
Should I
face.
sit in my seat or his seat?
Take the man's seat. Take the man's seat.
I'm gonna put Chucky in it.
Huh?
I'm gonna put Chucky over there.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, this is a girls episode, so.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Oh, can I go grab my water?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get dry now.
Grab your water.
Look at it. It's really hard to close.
Ugh. Ugh. Okay.
Nothing fell. Okay, recording. Check. Cameras. On.
Check.
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 Okay. Blinking, blinking, blinking. Not blinking.
We're all blinking here.
Okay.
Do I look beautiful?
You look so
You look
beautiful.
gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Sorry, I look good.
Gorgeous.
Wow, this is very tall. Okay.
You want me to start? What's up, motherfuckers?
This is a girls episode.
Oh,
we get
sorry.
To take over.
A little more gentle this time.
Hold on, I can't open this with nails. Wait. Oh, okay, I got it.
Okay. Okay, ready?
Count us in.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go!
Hello, you wonderful human beings.
Hello, wonderful, beautiful,
Beautiful,
valuable
lovely.
human
we
beings.
love every one of you.
Every one of you.
This is Necro Electric.
Yes.
I am your host today, Kylie Skellington. To my right, I have Miss Beautiful, blued-haired, purple-eyed. Are you wearing contacts? Purple-eyed Jordan.
Always. Always.
And we have a very special guest today. To my left, Tiffany. And to my very left, Megan.
Yes.
The bug girl.
From
If you ever see her on the street, just call her the bug girl. She loves it.
Yeah. It's better than the bug lady because whenever I get called the bug lady, I feel like an old hag.
So don't call her a lady.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I am a lady, but don't call me the bug lady.
Bug girl.
Bug girl.
Bug
Yeah.
girl.
That sounds like more like a superhero name anyway.
It does,
Like,
yeah.
man, at any moment you could just turn into a million bugs and, I don't know.
Or bug woman.
Bug woman.
Oh,
No?
that's very sour.
What is it?
It's watermelon. Ultra
Ooh.
watermelon. It's very sour.
Oh my.
Interesting. It's like a sour patch. Anyways.
Anyways.
Sean left me instructions. I can't do it on my own, people. I'm just a woman, okay?
Whatever.
He left me instructions here for our game. So we usually start out playing a game. So let's see what it says. Apparently it's a list of questions, and nuts is the second word on it. So I'll let you. Okay. So which nuts do you prefer in your mouth? Peanuts or walnuts?
Oh, damn. Definitely peanuts.
I thought it was going somewhere else, honestly.
Peanuts, for sure.
Peanuts?
Much better.
So you like the small balls.
Especially the salty ones.
Ew.
The honey roasted ones. Chocolate covered peanuts.
I'm going to say walnuts.
I like peanuts. I call my boyfriend Peanut Head, so I find that very appropriate.
Oh.
Okay, what? What hole would you prefer to eat?
What?
A donut hole of her...
What?
It's very hard to read, you guys. Donut hole of her cake? I don't know. Can you read that?
What hole would you rather eat? Donut hole or whole cake?
Or whole
or
cake.
A whole cake.
Like a bundt cake?
I think he means like a whole cake. Like eat a whole cake.
Or maybe, I think that it's the bundt cake, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
maybe.
That's the cake
Cake
that
with
has
the hole in it.
Yeah. Donut holes.
He called it the whole cake.
Yeah.
I mean, it went with the question, talking about holes.
It doesn't have a W, right? It's not like,
No.
okay, so he's probably talking about a bundt cake.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. The bundt cakes from Nothing Bundt Cakes are pretty damn good. So I like those. And they had the little buntlets. They're like little cupcakes.
Yeah.
Those are the best.
Yeah.
Have you ever eaten there? Have you ever gotten cake from there?
No.
Oh, it's so
Like
good.
orgasmic.
Yes. And you can ask for extra frosting, which they have the cream cheese frosting. Extra frosting on my whole cake, please.
I definitely like donut holes for sure. Because, sometimes a whole donut's too much. So
So a donut hole is
Yes.
perfect. That's
A
why
donut-
you're skinny and I'm like overweight.
well, I mean, if I get donut holes, I'm definitely going to eat a lot of them. So, to be fair.
Okay.
Yeah. You can just pop those things in your mouth.
Yeah.
Well, there's no dry parts of it. You know how sometimes
That's true.
donuts get
Yeah.
dry in the middle, but the little donut holes, they're always so squishy.
Yeah.
Very squishy and
Very
bite-sized.
squishy.
Have y'all had the nightlife donuts that are over?
I tried it. I wasn't that impressed.
Because it's cake donuts. It's not like donut donuts.
Yeah.
And so when I heard somebody say that it was cake donuts, I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to like these, but they were delicious. They were so good. And they have different varieties of donut holes. So just for FYI.
All the holes.
All the holes.
All the holes.
Okay, there's one more.
Okay.
What meat stick would you rather have? I cannot
Polish?
say that word apparently.
Kielbasa?
Polish sausage or a hot dog? Definitely the sausage. I don't even know what a hot dog is. What is a hot dog? It's like all the different meat leftovers in
It's
the one.
animal byproducts.
Yeah.
Pig lips and assholes.
Yeah.
Isn't that what they say?
Pretty
Unless
much.
you get the 100% beef ones, but even still, the beef is still the
Questionable.
byproducts. It's not like actual
Yeah.
meat.
It's questionable.
But man, I don't know. I like kielbasa a lot. It's really good. Especially and you can eat it by itself or eat it
Okay,
put
but
it in
that wasn't
stuff.
a choice, Jordan.
well,
That's what a Polish sausage is. It's a
Oh, I thought
kielbasa.
they were different
yeah.
things.
With pierogies.
What's a pierogi?
It's like a Polish empanada. You know what an empanada is? Yes, it's like it's like a pastry that an empanada is a pastry that has meat and cheese. Sometimes they'll have like beans and stuff and it's fried. But I think a pierogi is more baked and it's made with potato.
Ooh, yeah.
Right, yeah. So it's got a dough outside that you can fry or bake, and then on the inside it's always potato plus something else. I like potato and onion ones, but I really like to fry them in oil and make them so greasy. We used to always eat that when I was a kid. We would always have pierogies and kielbasa, and it was so good.
Well,
Yeah.
I'd try it.
But
Megan's cooking.
Polish family.
Yeah, potato and cheese pierogies are where it's at. That's so good. But yeah, so they're a Polish empanada.
Mrs. T's, though, that's a lie. Those are not real pierogies. I mean, they're good, but you haven't lived until you've had a homemade pierogi.
Are you talking about the frozen ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I like the fresh ones. They just doesn't taste the same.
It's a lot of work, but I know how to make pierogies. They're so good.
Oh my God. You
Okay,
make...
she's cooking for us one night.
I know. I love Polish food. I'm all about it. So,
Have you ever heard of Chinina?
no.
Okay, I think it's kind of gross, but it's duck blood soup. But it's they just put a little bit of duck blood in the broth. But I remember we would have it.
How much is a little bit or a little bit?
It's not enough to turn it red, but I don't know. that's all we used to say was it was duck blood soup. Like, and I don't know.
try it.
I'm pretty sure it's mainly just like a duck soup with like noodles. It's kind of like a chicken noodle soup, but with duck. But then like, you know, how they make it like extra flavorful is they put blood in it. I never liked it, but my sister did, and I was like,
Does it like give
disgusting.
you life? Duck blood, the
Eternal
secret to
duck
eternal life.
like on Kevin when she's like drinking the blood.
I got my DNA results back.
Wait, you got DNA test results back?
I did the ancestry thing.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. So what percentage of not white are you?
I would say like a good 12%.
Really? What is it?
Ethiopian.
Interesting.
Didn't see that one coming.
Everybody's got the South of like African blood in them.
Yeah.
Like all people come from South Africa.
Right.
I think
I guess,
so.
yeah. I have
Well.
Puerto Rican, Spanish, Malta, Portugal.
Well, didn't you
Mali.
say your grandma married a man that was Puerto Rican, but they didn't remember what his name was because they are in Puerto Rico because they changed
So
it?
she married my grandpa, who was not from the United States, but she had to lie to her parents in order to date him. That he was from the United States.
That's
So
right.
then she couldn't remember exactly where he was from because she lied for so long. So I thought it was really interesting. I still haven't told her. I gotta tell her.
Interesting. I really want to do that too, but I feel like it's not going to be super exciting. Like I mean, I know like my dad's side of the family is English and like my mom's side is English and like some German. So I'm like, it's all colonizers. So it's not very exciting to me, but maybe I would get a different result that would be exciting. So I don't know.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
You could find out you have a long lost sister or brother.
I don't want to do that. I don't want
I've
that.
heard of people doing that. Haven't you heard that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be
crazy.
surprised if my dad had more kids out there. But
Shout out, Dad.
he had a lot of kids. But he was an attractive man, though. You know, like when your parents are good looking, they tend to procreate a lot. So
Yeah. Well, that's Oscar's grandpa. There's 10 kids in all on his mom's side. And then they're pretty sure that there are more kids out there, but they cannot verify that. And I'm just like, dang, he got around.
Wow.
So I'm like, well, I mean, I don't really think that about me or my grandparents. I mean, I can't say that, but my grandpa was is a preacher, has been a preacher for most of his life, but I guess I don't, so if he's got some kid out there, I'd be like, I think that would probably send me to my grave. I'd be like, okay, I'm dead now. Thank you.
Has he ever watched the show?
No. Oh no. If he did, he'd
You'd be excommunicated from the family.
If I haven't already,
No
then
more
that
Jordan.
means I know. Hey, some people out there, they'd like it. So, whatever.
Yeah, that hater has not stepped forward yet, but the episode was released this morning. So.
It was. And funny story, I went back and looked because I replied to their comments and they replied back and one of them said, it's nothing personal. And I was like, the fuck is not personal? Like, it's one of those things where you say like, no offense. But then you say something super offensive. Like, it's not, to me, I'm like, if you don't like it, don't watch the show. Like, don't waste your time making comments about what you don't like.
Or just everyone bombard us with comments.
that is probably one of my biggest pet peeves. Whenever people are like, don't take it personally. It's like, what do you mean don't take it personally?
Like, I'm very offended now.
It's like anytime you try to defend yourself and somebody says like, oh, don't take it personally. It's like, hell no, did you just insult me? Like, I'm going to defend myself. Like, it's not necessarily me taking it personally.
You seem like you can get a little scrappy.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, I'm pretty like, civil, and I am always cordial, and it takes a lot to make me mad.
But when you get mad, you go off, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a fight?
Yes. I mean, I got kicked out of 2 schools.
What?
So, yeah.
God.
I was a really bad kid. Okay, so that's why like it was shocking to my parents that I turned out like pretty good, right? Yeah. So, yeah, I fought a lot in high school. I don't know. I was such a bad kid. Yeah, I got kicked out of public school first, and then they were going to send me to the bad kid school.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, oh, no, you're not going to the bad kid school. So I went to an all-girls school for a little while.
Oh,
and
where
actually,
lesbians are made.
I mean, it was going pretty good for a while, but then a girl started a fight with me, and I finished it. So, and then I went back to public school, but then I did pretty good after that. I really didn't get in much trouble after that.
Megan.
I know.
I don't fight. It takes a lot to get me to
Yeah.
that point, but I don't think that I would like start a fight now. But
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to finish one,
Yeah. I don't know. I've never actually been in a real fight. I don't know if you can tell that about everything about me, but I've never been in a real fight. So
Yeah,
for me,
neither.
I in my mind, I think I'd be able to actually like finish the fight or do something about it. But I feel like I would just start crying and I'd be like, stop it. Stop it.
it's always crying, but it's always like those angry tears, you know? Because like I feel like I never cry when I'm sad. I cry when I'm mad, and it's the most frustrating thing. Because you're like I'm not sad. I'm really mad, and like there's just tears, and it's the worst because you're like, take me seriously, I'm angry. But you want to know how this girl started this fight though? She kicked me in the vagina. Yeah.
She clam shotted you?
I didn't know there was a name for it. Yeah, she clam shotted me. But like, what would you do?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, first of all, what is the point of kicking someone in the vagina? It's not like the balls. It's not like gonna drop you to your knees.
I don't know. It didn't feel very good.
Well, no. Yeah, because ouch. But yeah, no, I would definitely fight someone over that. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That sucks.
My mom was so mad. But like, because she was like, what? Like, how are you going to get? And like, even the teacher was like, she didn't start the fight. Don't kick her out, you know? Like, but I was there like.
Why did she kick you there?
Like, I don't know. I don't remember. I remember like she was trying to start a fight or something, and someone was like trying to like hold her back, and then so like her instinct was to just like swing, like, you know, kick forward and like.
Kick right for the clam. Damn.
So was this in Waco?
No.
No, where did you grow up?
Erie, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little shithole in the lake, but
Erie, PA.
yeah. I mean, home is home, and I'll always love it, but it is such a shithole. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. See, it's funny in contrast to here because everybody from Erie is trying to leave. You don't hear anybody say like, "Oh, I'm happy here and I want to stay here." Everyone's always like, "I'm going to move to California," and you know they're all going to get out of there.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of people don't. But I mean, some people are happy there. But I would tell you that they're not there because they want to be. It's kind of like.
Right.
Like they're like, well,
Here
this
I
is
am.
my
Make
life.
the best of a shit situation.
Yeah,
I'm having trouble speaking today.
I don't know, but I liked Erie a little bit, but I've always been trying to like get away from there. You know, I don't know. So I moved here a couple years ago, but I don't know.
Okay.
So tell us what you do here in Waco.
So I'm a graduate student at Baylor. I don't know, I do research at Baylor, and I also teach. That's part of the whole thing, right?
She's very, very smart.
So, yeah, like, basically, if you teach part-time, then you get to go to school for free.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, I really like it, too. I like teaching a lot. It's a lot of fun.
Tell us about the bugs.
Okay. So, grad school is making me go broke, right? And I really like bugs.
Yeah.
And so actually how this all started was the oddities markets here is I went to, I think the first one and the second one, and I was like, this is an oddities market. Why are there no bugs here?
Yeah.
I was like genuinely distressed, but I was like, there's no bugs here. And so, I mean, I really didn't start like coming to the markets until this past January because I was like, you know, kind of playing around with the idea, and I was like, maybe, and then I just kind of started like making bug displays and started selling them. But that's like my side hustle. So,
Yeah.
So did you self-teach yourself how to pin the bugs, or was that something that you already knew how to do because of your research?
Well, it wasn't necessarily my research. So my research did kind of get me to fall in love with bugs because I did toxicology research. Like it was like aquatic toxicology with little bugs in the water. But I took it's called Invertebrate Zoology, and part of that, the lab course was it was taught by an entomologist, and our lab section was we went out and we caught bugs and we learned how to pin them.
How fun.
And we had to build like our own little collection. I hear about people doing this all the time, and they were like, I remember in middle school when we caught. I think I hear that 3 times every market I do. People always tell me about their insect collection that they had in like 3rd grade. And I'm like, everybody did that. I didn't do that. I had to do it in college, which was different because we had to like identify things, you know. But and that's like where I learned how to pin. I learned in a lot of ways that I was taught horribly wrong, but I was taught how to pin butterflies from a beetle guy. So, you know, I don't really like he did good, but like he was just you know, but so I learned how to do it then. But I will tell you that even though like I learned it in that class, there was a lot of like self-teaching involved because it's something that takes practice and time, and you destroy so many butterflies when you first start. It's so sad, but it's a big learning curve. But I mean, it's so fun.
And now you should see her pinning these butterflies.
Well, the way that you pin them, it doesn't even look like they're pinned. I mean, it looks like they're just sitting in this beautiful little display, and that's just how they are. I think my favorite one that you've done, and we talked about this at the last market, was the beetle where you had his wings out, and I was just so impressed with how well you had pinned it, and nothing was torn, nothing was broken. Like it just looked like he was about to take flight, and he died, and that was how you put him in the box.
Drop dead.
I mean, I'll tell you that there were several haggard beetles before that, but I mean, like I said, just lots of practice. But I mean, maybe there are some people out there that just get it instantly. But I mean, I definitely remember a time where it took me like 2 hours to try to figure out how to pin one thing, and at that point they're like already starting to dry, and like it just gets harder, and they look terrible, and you're like,
are there any bugs you refuse to pin just because they're like gross, or like you just don't want to?
Well, it's not really a bug or insect. It's not an insect, but millipedes are disgusting. Ugh. I got some.
Gross.
I had got some. I thought I was like, oh, it'll be cool to do something with millipedes, and I got them, and they were dry, and like you couldn't really rehydrate them. It just fell apart, and they smelled bad, and it was disgusting. I still have like a piece made with like millipedes sitting up in my closet, and I'm just like, I don't even want to frame that. Because they're just so stinky and gross. They were like the big like Asian millipedes that are, I don't know,
the ones that are in your nightmares.
They kind of look like Slim Jims.
Oh my god!
Like really leggy Slim Jims.
In a Slim Jim wrapper.
So, what is your process? Like, where do you get the bugs from? How do you what is the process to pin them? How long does it take you? You know, all of that stuff.
So, as far as where I get them, I do collect a lot of insects myself. Like I do go out and catch them. But
you should see this girl with a net. She was on top of her fucking car trying to catch a dragonfly.
I'm committed. I do not run or exercise in any type of way. But if there's a butterfly or something I want to catch, I will book after it. Yeah.
There's Megan.
But like a lot of the butterflies that are really fantastic to make displays with are from out of the country. So I get a lot of them from like butterfly farms. So I think that like the one thing I really like is showing people insects from around the world, because there's a lot of fantastic species that people have never seen before. There's a lot of species here that people have never seen before, and I don't know if I don't think that we're aware a lot of our surroundings, because if you start looking for bugs, you'll see that they're everywhere. And I don't know if that's horrifying for some people, but it's really like enlightening for me, because I'm just like, they're everywhere and they're so cool. And if you know about the bugs, you know that like there are very few that are any kind of threat to you or want anything to do with you, you know. So if you know what can hurt you and what can't, it's not like that scary. But there's just like, I had a lot of displays before with like stuff that I caught myself, and people were like, oh my gosh, you got that here? Or like Luna moths are one that people are like surprised that like I caught here. But there's a lot of really big moths that we have here that people just don't see, because they're usually really deep in the woods, and then they just like die in the woods, you know? So like their whole life cycle's out there. Like they're not coming to your front porch usually, you know? I don't know. Same with like the larger species and other people are always like, oh my gosh, could you imagine like the big atlas moths? Like, so people are always like, could you imagine that just like flying at you? And I'm like, they're usually like not near people. They're very far in the woods.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Are you going to bring a net to the night market this Sunday?
Last market, there was like a giant bee or dragonfly or something. Yeah. And my boyfriend Andrew was like, did you bring a net? And I was like, no, like, because we had to pack the carnival for the market. And so he like took his hat off and he like went to go catch it. Like, and we were both like kind of like running. Yeah. We didn't catch it, but it was funny because like the people like around, like in the other booths were like, what is going on? Yeah, because we were both, I was like, get it. And he was like running around with his hat. And yeah. So I definitely feel like I look like a crazy person sometimes, especially like whenever I go out to like Cameron Park because I am a grown-ass woman walking around with a net. And I feel like I look like SpongeBob out there like jellyfishing. But I definitely feel like people think that like it's something kids do is like go out and catch bugs and stuff. But nope, I am a grown-ass woman out there with a net.
It's fun though.
It is so much fun. I don't think that people understand like it's way more fun than you would expect because you're just like, oh, I gotta catch it. And I don't know. It's really exciting because it's like Pokemon, right? Like you're like, gotta catch them all.
Yeah. So what do you do with the live specimens? Do you just, do you hold on to them? Do you like wait for them to die? Like how does that work?
I think the most humane thing to do is kill them right away.
Oh,
so,
okay.
There's like different methods you can use. Like with butterflies, you kind of just pinch them like at the bottom and then they die instantly.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, this is like the dark part of bug collecting that most people don't really like to talk about. There's kill jars that like you use and they have like usually like acetone or some kind of like some kind of noxious fume that'll like basically like kill them within a minute. Or like with larger moths, you have to like inject them with alcohol. Otherwise, they'll beat themselves up to death. And I think it's definitely more humane to just like stick them with a needle with a little bit of alcohol so they die instantly. Yeah. And I think that it's not as sad as you think because it's not like you're taking their life. Like with insects, most of their life is spent as a larva, like running around and eating things and getting big, fat, and happy, and then they metamorphose, right? Almost all insects go through some kind of like metamorphosis into their adult form. Mm-hmm. And once they're in adulthood, their only purpose is to mate
and then die. Yeah.
And it's very short usually. There are very few insects that have like a long adulthood. So it's not as sad as I think you think. You're not like, you're maybe robbing it of like a day of its life.
You're robbing it of sex.
You never know. Like the males though, the males might, he could have already had like 5 partners by now. We don't know.
It's true. I'm trying to have a better relationship with bugs. Like I'm really, really trying to not freak out when I see them because I know they're an important part of the ecosystem and I know that they're if it's something that is actively trying to hurt me, like a wasp, that's a different story. But
I don't really miss those. Yeah.
But if it's like a spider, I've really, because I have arachnophobia and I've really worked hard to get over my fear of spiders because I know they're not actively trying to hurt me. Like they are just trying to live their little spider lives and they don't need me trying to just end their life because I'm scared of them. So, but there's still some bugs that I'm just like, nope, I need to kill you. I don't know why. I'm very afraid of you. So
I'll slap the shit out of a mosquito. I do not care. That thing's trying to bite me. Gone.
Yes. Yeah.
Do we have time for a sponsor?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I got interested in talking about bugs. Okay, so this episode is brought to you by Skellington Curiosities. Skellington Curiosities is the only curiosities and oddities shop in Waco, Texas, full of clothing, lingerie, accessories, oddities, and everyday curiosities like bugs. A spooky vibe 365. Visit us online at skellingtoncuriosities.com. Megan is constantly like restocking her beautiful cabinet and putting in new beautiful pieces, which every time I look by them, I'm like, could I afford to get this one? No, I couldn't.
Well, now she has all the Riker mounts full of bugs that are way cheaper. So if you're on a budget,
that's true.
Bug budget.
So what is that in comparison to the ones that you actually pin?
What do you mean?
Is it just the bugs like in a case, or is it like is it still mounted with a beautiful like frame and stuff like that?
So, I pin way more insects than I'll ever make time to have displays for. Mm-hmm. So I basically there's these little boxes that have like foam in them, and it's kind of like a little mini I don't want to say it's not really a frame. It's more of like a storage, but it looks like a frame. and it kind of just like it has cotton in the back and it squishes the bug up to the glass, and it looks nice. So they're all bugs I still like spread and did all the work for, but like instead, and you can take it out of the record mount if you want to, and you can firm it yourself. But I as we know, my stuff might be considered expensive to some people, but I mean, I put a lot of work into my stuff, and I'm really big on like high quality, so I follow like museum standards whenever I do my framing. So it's a little more expensive, right, than I think some people would think, but it also depends on what's in the frame, right? But anyways, with the record mounts, like they're just like I just want people to have bugs, right? So I came up with a way to share more bug love with the world. So I was like, here's some specimens I pinned, and I put them in a little case, and you can do whatever you want with it. So my frame stuff though, like I love, and if I could make displays for every single one, I would, but I don't have the time. And plus there's ones that I don't really want to use for displays, like if I like broke an antennae or something, like I still love the bug, and I figured somebody else would too. And so
that's really cool. And this episode's going to air after it's already going on, but you're going to be doing a kind of a class on that on Friday.
Yeah.
So what is that going to entail? Since I'm going to miss it, I'm going to be at the beach, but anyway, so what does that entail?
So it's going to be like more casual. So we're doing like a sip and shop type deal, but like I'll be there pinning bugs, because I get asked all the time, like, like, oh, how do you pin these? And it's like, it's not a secret, like I'm trying to keep to myself. So when people always like, they'll ask me how to pin, or and I want people to learn. So I'm going to be here on Friday night, just like basically pinning butterflies, and I'm bringing some like starter kits, like mounting kits that people can, so they can like, start pinning their own bugs. I want more people to do stuff with bugs. But I'll just be like, showing people like how you get the butterflies. I don't think most people realize, like with a lot of the insects I get, they're all like folded up and they don't like come flat in any way. Like there's things you got to do to them, and they're not like, they're usually dried whenever you get them, so you have to like rehydrate them. And I think that a big misconception, whenever people hear pinning insects, I think that they do like stick pins all through them. That's not how it works.
That's how I did it the first time I tried. And she saw it, she was like, you left a hole in the wing,
I tried to be very nice about it, because I didn't really know that about them, but I was like, hey, don't do that.
I could tell it killed you.
There are some you have to do that for, but you use a very, very tiny
I was
pin.
using like my sewing pins, because I didn't have the right stuff.
But so it's just going to be showing people how to do it, and so that more people can do it. I think that I like sharing all things bug related with people, because there is a really important part of conservation with that, right? If you educate people on bugs, they start to appreciate them, and they'll start value. Like that's the thing with like catching them and displaying them too, right? So it's not like I'm going out there and like depleting the populations by catching bugs,
right?
I like to, if you know what's out there, and you can like beautifully honor their life. So I don't know, but it's just so much fun. I love doing the bug stuff.
What's your favorite bug to pin? To work with, pin,
honestly, okay, so it's the death-head moth, and just because I have done more of them than any other insect, because I do so
Everyone
many.
Everyone loves them.
Yeah, and I don't mind it, because it's in my favorite like family of like, so butterflies and moths are all one family, but the death-head moth like is part of the family like Sphingidae. I'm sorry, they're not all part of this. They're all part of the same order. But Sphingidae is a family, and that's sphinx moths, and the death-head moths are part of that, and they're just really easy for me to pin now. So they're really easy, but they're so soft.
I want to touch.
They are so soft.
I want to touch one.
I just love how soft they are, and I'm like, you're so pretty. I talk to my bugs when I pin them sometimes.
I feel like I would too. I feel like you have to kind of like get through it and to
the fact she murdered them.
Yeah.
But the death's head moth, you have to get. Where do you usually get those from?
So I import them from like different countries. I had some imported from Russia, from a farm there. Some of the ones I'm getting now are imported from Africa, and then I have other ones that I've imported from Vietnam. There's actually 3 different species of death head moths, and the more valued one is the one that's like really expensive to get. But those ones that's the African death head moth. So the one that we see in the movie. That's the African death head moth. And then there's the greater death head moth, which is from like the Asian region. And that is the one I get from Vietnam.
Okay. Because I was thinking about that, and I was watching this. Behind the scenes of Silence of the Lambs, and because death's head moths are not from here, they had to import them, and the problem was that they kept dying. And so they had to have several, and they would have to order more, and then they would die, and they had to order several, and so they had to like have a moth keeper. Keep these moths to make sure that they didn't die and that they weren't getting like squished or lost or whatever. So I just thought that was super funny because I was like, you won't find them here in America really anywhere. So I
thought it was fascinating how many people didn't think they were real.
Yeah.
People are like, wait, these are real, and it's like, So
I get like having an oddity shop. People come in here and like, are these real bugs? Yes, they're all 100% real bugs.
There was a bug shop I went to. I think it was down near Colleen. But it like he had a sign on the wall, and I was like, I need this. It was like, yes, the bugs are real. We get them from butterfly farms, and there was like some other one, like, and no, we don't kill them ourselves. Like he had like these 3 things, and I was like, I need that because I get asked all of those questions. So all of my bugs are real. No, I don't kill all of them myself. Some of them I do, and they come from butterfly farms usually, or like conservation farms. So they're not like. Which is especially important for the really pretty species from like South America and the ones from like Madagascar. Getting those, like having those farms are really important because they also help to make sure that the natural populations, keep their numbers. Because, those farms, they, re-release a lot of them or, and then they send a lot of them out too. And that kind of keeps like the black market of the bug trade, from having to
bug trade.
There is a whole like illegal insect trade. So.
I believe it. I believe it. Is the death's head moth your top seller, or do you feel like you sell more of like the Luna moths or the beetles?
I haven't done like a lot of duplicate species, I guess. I think that they usually sell pretty well, though. But I try to do a lot of them because I get asked for them so much, and they're really beautiful moths, so I don't like mind doing it. I just wish they weren't so dang expensive.
Yeah.
Because like you go online, and if you go to buy a death head moth, there are some people who sell them online, like, and they're $50 just for the moth. Yeah. So I think whenever people are like, oh, it's like $150 to $200 for one of your displays, I'm like, the moth was expensive.
Yeah.
So, like in frame size doesn't always correlate to price. That's the one thing I always like to tell people, because like, just because I have a big frame, I could have something in a small frame that's just as expensive. It just depends on the species. Like I had like a devil's mantis that was
that thing was so cool.
That I framed, and it was just in an 8x10 frame, and it was just as expensive as some of my larger displays, like my large 16x20. So
I think that's the biggest thing with any kind of like local business or small business, is that people don't understand the reason that things are priced the way that they are, because not only are you ordering these expensive bugs, but you're ordering the mats and the frames, and you're doing all the pinning yourself, and you like, there's a lot that goes into it. And so when people are like, oh, that's super expensive, and it's like, well, yeah, like if you went to some other place, it'd probably be twice as much as what she's charging. But the fact that you are a small business here, you want to make sure that it's a price that people can afford and also have something pretty in their house.
Well, honestly, too, like I've made friends with a lot of like professional framers, and because everything I do, I follow the same. Like I taught myself how to do framing just for this, and so everything I do is professional quality framing. I do everything exactly the same that they do, and I pretty much have a frame shop in my living room.
Yeah.
But if you were to take a bug and take it to a framer and ask them to frame it, you would be paying probably twice as much as it would be to buy one of my displays.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think the bugs deserve the best. So I make sure that that's why I put so much time and quality into them. And honestly, I don't see many people doing the same thing that I do. As a scientist, I love identification. So every single one of my displays, they all have the identification on them and the country that they came from, because I like that kind of information.
Yeah, it's beautifully done. I mean, we have a piece of yours in our living room, and I will stare at it just all the time, just staring at the butterflies, and I'm like, this is so cool.
Wait. You have moths.
Moths. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
That's really common, though. Those moths are day-flying moths, which is really confusing, right? And they are so pretty.
Yeah.
But people are like, that's the most beautiful butterfly I've ever seen. And it's like, that's a moth. Because whenever people are like, oh, if you think moths aren't pretty, you need to see one of the uranium moths, because they are gorgeous. They are honestly the beautiful, I don't know, the most beautiful of all the moths and butterflies for sure.
Yeah.
They have fantastic colors. And actually, they get their colors because they eat one of the most toxic plants in the world.
That's crazy.
Oh. Yeah, it's funny because butterflies, their wings are pretty, but when you look at them up close, they're kind of creepy looking because they have their proboscis and their eyes are all bugged out. But moths up close are actually kind of cute.
They're really cute.
They're really fuzzy, and they have normal eyes, and you're like, oh, you're cute. But butterflies are like, oh no, you're scary.
Do we have time for another sponsor?
Yes, sorry. I like to talk about bugs. Okay, so this episode is also brought to you by Maud Ministry. Maud Ministry merch creates for the edgy woman, the kind of woman who works hard but plays much harder, who embraces femininity but tests the societal limits. We are not for the faint of heart. We are bold. We are beautiful. Check out Maud Ministry Etsy page for handmade lingerie. 5-star rated seller since 2014. Yeah.
I have some of your stuff. I love it.
Yay. I do too. I love my stuff.
Thanks. Do you want to hear something scary though? There are flightless butterflies. There are butterflies without wings.
Well, then why would they? Why?
They look like little slugs?
No, it's they go through metamorphosis, but they just don't have the wings. And so they kind of, just imagine a butterfly without the wings.
Oh, weird.
They're really creepy looking, yeah. There's not that many of them, but...
Around?
They just kind of walk around. Or there are moths that don't fly either. Female atlas moths are they're so fat that they can't fly. They're so big. So the atlas moths are just huge, and the females have very large bodies, because they carry eggs and all that. But there are some that are unable to fly because their bodies are just so fat. So they kind of just waddle around waiting for a male to come along. And
sounded like me before I met Oscar.
They're just waddle around, just hanging out on the tree waiting for a male to come along. And,
funny.
Yeah.
What a life, hanging out in a tree waiting for a man.
Yeah, I know. And although I would say if I were a bug, I would want my life to be ended by Megan and displayed beautifully.
Absolutely.
Honestly, that would be the best way to go instead of, being eaten
put us
or
in
something.
The same box.
Yeah.
I'm very kind to my bugs. I love that. Even if I break a bug, I won't throw it out.
Here's a question.
What?
If Jordan was a bug, what would she be? What's the little curly thing?
I don't know. I think that you would be one of the uranium moths. I really do, with your hair and everything.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What would I be?
I don't know. That's a tough one.
Okay, when I look at your hair, I instantly think of those, those really bright green beetles. I don't know names, but I know there's several species, but
scarab beetles.
No, I don't know what they're called, but that's the first thing that I was thinking of. But also a Luna moth.
I think she's a praying mantis.
Oh,
yes, I'll take that. I'll be a praying mantis.
I like that. Watch out, Sean. She'll eat your head.
Eat your head. Rip it off.
There are some really pretty praying mantises out there. Yeah. Have you ever seen that the flower mantises or the orchid mantises? Yeah, I love those. There are some really fascinating bugs out there. I love being a bug person, right? Because I learn about a new species every single day, and I think that's just so rewarding. Because I can never stop learning, and I love learning. So. It's great. I don't know.
We're getting to the midnight hour, ladies.
Yeah.
Sean will kill me if I don't say this. Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Hit that subscribe button.
Do it.
Buy my bugs.
Do it. Buy the bugs.
Buy the bugs.
Buy my bugs.
I want to do a shout out to all of the people who came and told me how awesome they thought I was on the show and how much they love me being here. Because I tell you what, it's one person, but like those comments kind of like got to me a little bit, just a little bit, not a lot. So just a little bit, and enough for me to be like, oh, maybe they're right. And then I had like 5 people say like, no, you're great, we love you. And I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, no,
thank
you're
you.
fucking amazing and we love you.
Thank you. Thank you. So fuck you, whoever you are. And I'm so glad to be part of this show. It'll be
debated giving you a solo show today.
I actually thought about just like not being here and you being like, oh, she decided to take a break.
Monologue.
And then I'd be like, psych, bitches! Can't get rid of me that easy, but I decided against it, so oh well. Oh well.
You gotta wear like ring fingers. This is why I wear middle ring fingers.
Yeah.
So if you like flip them off, it
I
always
know.
looks pretty. It's like, that's for you.
Boop. Anyway, what about you, Kylie?
Shout out to everyone coming out to the Skellington Market.
Woo, woo.
So much fun. It's been so fucking insane. Waco is just, I love it. Waco is amazing. There's a lot of really, really cool stuff in the works right now, so stay tuned.
Yep.
You have any
What
shout
about
outs?
you, Megan?
I just want to say like thank you to everybody who does come to the markets as well. I've really found my people here, and it's been really awesome getting to be part of such a great community. So thank you to all y'all.
Well,
And
we
if
love
people
having
wanna
you
find
here.
you online, where can they find you?
Oh, on Instagram at Insecta Mortuus. So that's 2 U's in the mortis part. But I don't know. It's a Latin name. It means dead bugs. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Isn't that clever?
Yeah.
You're so
I like
clever.
it.
I don't know. I
like
was like, how do I like, I needed a business name, and
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not very creative, so dead bugs, but we'll put it in Latin so it sounds pretty.
Yeah. It works. So go find her.
Yes.
Find her at one of the markets. She does Skellington Market and any other markets?
I do random ones all the
Random
time,
markets,
but
so
always
follow her.
Skellingtons. I will always do the Skellingtons market because literally my whole business came out of Skellington markets.
We love you for it.
Well, we like having you here. I love seeing the bugs. Every time I come in here, I like go over the bug.
What's new?
What's new in here?
All right. Well,
All right.
that's all for tonight.
Bye.
Later.